There was some concern that coming into Victory Day, and indeed this Victory Day parade, that President Putin might use this opportunity and the optics of this parade to declare war on Ukraine. He also stopped short of doing that. So what happens next in your view?
Look, I mean, that's actually, I think, a great relief for many people, the fact that he has not used this opportunity, which would have been the moment to expand the war. So what happens from now on? Well, I think what you're going to see is some degree of stalemate there in the southeast of the country. The Russian forces absolutely are not going to withdraw the same way that they withdrew from Kiev and in the north. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Ukraine can push those forces out. And that will end up, of course, becoming a question for the Western backers, people like Scholz and Macron and President Biden, of course. Is there open-ended support given to Ukraine to mount these major attacks to push Russian forces out, or does it instead turn into some degree of pressure to find a negotiated solution?
Indeed, and those questions remain. At the same time, Victor, we also saw Ukraine's President Zelensky also using his own Victory Day address to say that Ukraine would ultimately defeat Russia in this ongoing battle. What did you make of some of the commentary that we heard from him and the overall direction of Ukrainian forces now as a result?
Look, I mean, Zelensky absolutely is maintaining the line that, Ukraine will be liberated and Ukraine will be freed. And I think that's absolutely the appropriate and necessary thing for him to do. But the real question will be what happens when the rubber hits the road militarily. The Ukrainian forces have performed exceptionally well in a defensive conflict against Russia, and they've had some tactical successes there in the south. But in terms of truly freeing all this territory, and it is quite a lot that Russia has captured, we really haven't seen that put to the test. We haven't seen a really large-scale offensive by the Ukrainian armed forces that could sweep the Russians out. And it's a question Zelensky is going to have to be asking himself and his military advisors. If we do an attack, and that is much harder to do than mounting an effective defence, will we be successful, and how successful will we be? So I think, the stage is really set for potentially, if there's no negotiated solution, a very bitter and protracted conflict there in the south, where Putin, on the one hand, has said we absolutely, as a sacred matter, cannot give up this territory. But then again, you have Zelensky, on the other hand, saying we are committed to liberating the country. And it will be really interesting to see how this plays out on the battlefield and what sort of pressure the West does or doesn't push on Zelensky to try and reach a resolution.